When writing programs, it's common to need to store values and refer to them later on. This is where variables come in handy. A variable is a name that we give to a value in our program. The value can be of any data type like numbers, strings, or even the result of an operation. For example, let's say we want to calculate the area of a triangle using its length and width. We can create variables for the length and width values like this. Length equals 10, width equals 5. With these variables, we can compute the area of a triangle. Area equals length times width. Notice how we use the equal sign to assign values to the variables. This process is called assignment. Here we are assigning the multiplication of what is stored in the variables length and width to the area variable. Please take note, when we create a variable in our code, the computer reserves a chunk of its memory to store that value. This allows us to access the variable later for reading or modifying the value. And here is the result of our calculation. Print area, and our output is 50. Variables are crucial because they allow us to operate on data that may change. For example, we can use a variable to store the name of a file in a script that performs a specific operation on the file, like this. With this variable, we can perform the same operation on any file just by changing the value of the variable. Let me show you a quick illustration. You don't have to worry about understanding this. This is just to illustrate the power of variables. Let's say I have two files, an employee data file and a salary data file. And what I want to do is to read the data from these two files. More or less, I want to explore what these two files contain. So to read the employee's data file, and in this case, I'll be using the pandas library. Don't worry about this library, we'll learn about it in later videos. I'm going to save the employee's data file in a variable called file, and I'll write the following code to read the data in this file. And it reads successfully. Now let's say I want to read the salary data file. All I need to do is to replace the value of the file variable with the salary data file and run the same code again. And there you have it, it runs successfully. This just illustrates the power of variables in your programs. Finally, it's important to remember that variable names have some restrictions. Variable names can't have spaces and must start with a letter or an underscore. This is valid and this is valid, but this is invalid. Can you guess why? Because it starts with a number 1, and variable names don't start with a number. They start with a letter or an underscore. Also, variable names can only have letters, numbers, and underscore. So when you write a variable name like this, my hyphen variable, let's say equals to 1, it's actually an invalid variable name. Lastly, remember precision is important in programming. Python variables are case sensitive, so capitalization matters. Lowercase, uppercase, and all caps variable names are different variable names. Let's illustrate that with an example. Even though this variable name looked the same, because they are in different capitalization format, they store different values, confirming that variables are actually case sensitive. And that's a brief overview of variables in Python. With this knowledge, you can start using variables to store and manipulate data in your own programs. Try experimenting with different types of data and operations to see how variables can help you write more powerful code. And remember, variables are just one of the many tools you can use in Python to write effective and efficient programs. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep coding.